All right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. This your brother Nayako. Look, I'm gonna try to actualize spiritual effects all over the earth and give you all a rendition, an explanation, an image, or something that you can look to within your mind so you understand why things is crumbling like they are around us. And if you would but take take it at a so above, so below type of mentality. As you bind in heaven, so shall it be bound on earth, loose, so shall it be loosed. As above, so below. See the exact same function. And I'm going to use this expression. A house without love, can it stand? A house without peace, can it stand? Joy, wisdom, can any house, a household, can any family live together, each conducted in their own selfish mentality, and not bicker and war and fight? Can a household be selfish? Can a household be ignorant of that very household itself? You don't just need money. You don't just need material. You don't just need a job. You don't just need any standard or thing that this world sets that makes all of the emotions. You see, the things of this world we use to make us feel certain emotions that we should have the strength, will, and power to feel on our own without any need of a material assistant. And so the households that some kind of do well together have established the external in such a way so as to help them and aid them maintain the emotional health of that family. And so with this construct, can you all do what I do in my mind? I can take this exact same construct and make it a global thing. I'm sure that you all can do this, right? And when you do it, all praises to the Most High, you will see that if you would take a global impact of what would happen if, let's say, the whole world is a household, which it is, and that household is void of the pillars, the emotional pillars that keep it going, right? That all within the household work to sustain. And so when you talk about virtues aside from the ones that we see in the material, there are spiritual pillars that hold up a household. We call truth, wisdom, love, charity, kindness. You know, these things hold up a household. truth is not pure, if the love isn't pure, if the understanding isn't pure, because understanding also holds up a household, if the peace isn't pure, if the intent isn't pure, if there's anything that is impure, meaning that the two go their separate ways, the three go their separate ways, everybody in the household just going wherever they go, yet what the household is made to do, or what the household works to do, they may appear to do chores, they may appear to aid one another in a way so as to say, they're working in the material, for material things, if you will, because they give one to another, they love one another, they this, that, and the other, right? But then when you talk about a spiritual family, do you all not understand that the real work is on the love, the wisdom, the understanding, the truth within the household? They uphold a standard of communication one with another, and they call this standard of communication true. Y'all, I guess y'all see where I live at, huh? Lord. And now y'all see why I gotta do these videos, right? Why I'm trying to share with everybody the truth. You got gunshots and everything going on outside, man. And this is the life we all choose to live. This is how we choose to walk forward. Because we're not even working on the pillars of love in the world. You understand what I'm saying? There needs to be a global occupation for love, a global occupation for wisdom, a global occupation for the things that instill the very health of mankind in the state of the whole household. You see, we haven't set up a single thing for these. Love is supposed to be the most important thing, but we haven't set up a single thing globally that's good enough to help. We haven't set up a single thing in wisdom globally, right? A single foundation of truth globally. Yet everything is about trade and about materialism and about this, that, and the other. You see, we should have been maintaining the things that were most important to us worldwide, universally. And so the Father, there was laws that caused man to keep a construct that was as close to him as possible so that he understand what's most important. When a man learns by keeping a family that love is most important, that truth is very important, that man through keeping the keep of his own family understands that this is a universal effort to do the exact same thing. And so the word family, the family construct should have been the global government, if you will, whereby we do the things that are important to uphold the love, the wisdom, the truth. These are virtues that are needful to be back of life. so that life can be sustained eternally. And I guarantee you, the wisdom of carnal man is what's back of this life. Everything that is carnal is back of this life. And these are the principalities that we're up against, y'all. These are the things that we war against. You see, even the principalities of carnal understanding are beginning to evolve and become more and more present, right? I guarantee you, the same effort or advancement or evolution or growth that the carnal is growing or experiencing right now, they're far behind. You see, they're probably up for a carnal evolution, if you will, which is impossible because the end of them is death. There is no evolution. After the end of all carnal deeds is death. That's your de-evolution or in all of these things. You understand what I'm saying? And so, while carnal man appears to evolve, the end of his road, his evolution, first of all, it's only an appearance. He won't get to the height of the level he esteems or thinks that he can get, because he's reached his limit. His measure is up. His wisdom can go no higher, can take him no further in life. You see, his wisdom has neglected love. His wisdom has neglected wisdom itself. His wisdom has neglected the attributes of the Most High, and based upon that, he has builded pillars in this world on money, on greed, on the 7 sins, if you will. Gluttony, right? These things are bereavement simply because these are pillars of the carnal kingdom, and upon these things men go out and do whatever they do for these carnal things. A lot they work because of pride, right? They're proud of themselves and what they have achieved and what they are absent. Listen, to be proud of yourself absent of the Most High is almost like a double whammy for you, because you're proud outside of the thing that you ought to understand. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of the truth, outside of your real nature, you're proud outside of your true original nature. And these are the things that y'all don't understand. Y'all doing all of these things absent from who you truly are. And if you only understood just how magnificent you are, you would understand how each and every day as you sin, you do yourself a disservice. We need to be fighting for wisdom. Not for our truths in this carnal life. We need to be fighting for the truth. Not our truth, the truth, the idea of it all together. We need to fight for the idea, the construct, the mental system of truth exactly as we know it. To be robotic, to be absolute, to be the thing that does not change, to be the thing that we know that only does because it's just mechanic at thought, period. We need to understand that we need to have that and uphold that and let that be the guide, because we can never be that mechanic. Come on, we can never be true. We see attributes that belong to the Most High when we find out that this is an attribute we could only taste of, have a similitude of. We can never exactly be the thing, right? And this is the image of God as we were made to be. So we look at the height of truth and we say no man can be truth. This is true. That's why it doesn't belong to you. That's exactly your evidence that tells you it doesn't belong to you. No man can ever have peace. That is your evidence that it doesn't belong to you. It's got to be given, people. Wisdom doesn't belong to you. It's got to be given to you. You understand? It's got to be given to you because you lost sight of it. And there is one out there always trying to give it to you, but because you're not ordered right, you're not ready to receive. Understanding opens the floodgate of every attribute of the Most High, even the ability to see Him. Understanding opens the window so you can see all of these things. And so y'all lack to have your scientists really letting everyone look at what understanding itself is. Scientists upholding the pillars and the standards of what understanding itself is. Y'all see light only because it shines on material things. But you cannot see the light, which is the wisdom, the impulse, the manipulation of God Himself within you and without you. Y'all living your life every day like wild animals. You understand what I'm saying? It's every day. Y'all just like wild animals. Y'all not even endeavoring to discover yourself. Listen, who lives their life really trying to understand life itself? How many people you think really trying to understand life itself? Though they struggle with the questions here and there, off and on, they never really spend time really trying to figure out why things operate and function the way that they do in life. Only to unveil and find the Most High. You see, I've been on that journey, y'all. This whole time, it hasn't been understood to me until just recently that my whole endeavor was to seek out and understand life itself. Why die? Why hurt? Why sick? Why kill? Why steal? Why these bad things that don't make us feel good when they're done to us? I'm going to tell you like this. The receiver feels the truth of the deed more than the one who does the deed. You understand what I'm saying? And so the receiver, the one on the receiving end, who receives the evil that's done to him, they're the ones telling the truth. You see, it's possible for you to feel what you do to people because you understand that you do to them only what you do to yourself. And so you understand why it hurts someone with what you do. You see, and a lot of people understand, a lot of people know the attribute called empathy, but have they really studied it to understand it? You see, there's no greater empathy than the empathy that Christ gave people who walked in our shoes, who healed us when we were sick, who was there for us through every single day, and we recognized Him not. We did that. We lost sight of the truth, and He came to teach us a path that at the very cornerstone of that path is the love of God, which Christ is. And so He came to teach us love, and how is it that we're so far from that path? The one who we call the Son of God taught us. Over and over and over and over and over again. That mastery of man that understands the Father. You understand what I'm saying? Who only endeavors to tell the whole world what He is like before they destroy themselves. You see, because the Most High is so true and so perfect, we've got to reap what we've done. We got to. as on the positive as well as on the negative. You understand? And then the thing about the negative is that all of you who do evil deeds, the deeds that you're doing are not telling you the truth about the deeds you've done. They're lying to you, making you feel good about the deeds that you've done. You understand? But there's going to be in the spiritual kingdom those that do those deeds and instantly feel the thing as they have done it while they're doing it. You understand what I'm saying? And so everybody's going to start feeling bad doing evil things, feeling horrible doing evil things, destroying their soul, because these are the evil things that once make them feel good, but now these evil things make them feel bad when they do them. You understand? Like what if when you stole, that good feeling you used to feel, when you take from somebody that good feeling you used to feel, what if you feel 1,000 times worse for having taken it, right? And then that feeling, I'm going to tell you like this. Because of the truth of the Most High, when it enters into you, that feeling will tell you the truth. You will tell yourself the truth, that you are a thief, that you're horrible, that you're this. And there's going to be an accuser calling you all types of names, hurting you, destroying you. You understand? Making you feel all types of ways on the inside of you, because the mind is meant to tell you the truth. The mind is meant to process a certain way. And just because we are misconfigured in this life doesn't mean that we can be rightly configured in an instant. You understand what I'm saying? While in the midst of not understanding what we need to be feeding ourselves, what we need to be truly giving ourselves, the deeds we need to be doing that makes us feel the ways that we ought to be feeling from the deeds that we do. But y'all gonna end up still caught up in your sins, right? And you're going to do it one day and you're going to feel a hot mess. And then you ain't going to even know where it's coming from. That's the kicker. I'm going to tell you like this. It's going to hit you and you ain't going to even know who hit you at all. You don't understand you hitting yourself. Y'all going to be your souls are going to be generating anger to the highest degree. You understand what I'm saying? Because understand, someone accusing you makes you angry. And you gonna be the one accusing yourself, making yourself angry. Not only making yourself angry, but the accusations hurt. And then if these be accusations true, when the truth tells you something, you don't understand. The truth is a word with the Father back of it. If the truth tells you something, that you are a sinner, and you know not the love and the grace and the mercy he came to teach you. You understand? I'm going to tell you like this. Grace and mercy was put on this earth for us to learn and understand it before it was too late. You had to understand grace and mercy before the time of truth came. Because when the time of truth comes and you know not grace and mercy, you're going to be going through some stuff that you don't know grace and mercy. You know not how to overcome it. You know not how to do a thing to keep these evil spirits off of you that are meant to torment you according to the will of the Most High. But these pillars, these walls are now falling. You understand what I'm saying? We have taken down the wall of love and built up the wall of anger and selfhood and selfishness and pride and ego and we've built up these material and selfish walls. And these are the things holding up this whole society right now. Ambition and competitiveness and might is right. And these are the pillars holding up the consciousness, if you will, of man. And so while you all have these pillars holding your consciousness up, pretty soon you will find out that everything you're receiving as a result of the things that you do will, in fact, hurt you spiritually and weigh you down, because you're functioning in a system that's true. It's going to happen. evolutionary. You're going to evolve. But which way you go is on you. And so while y'all sitting up here seeing fire, burning up all the trees, I see something off in the spirit. That man needs to learn love. And so in love, these external manifestations cannot happen. You understand what I'm saying? They cannot happen because man is loving all over the earth. Cultivating and keeping and watching and increasing and doing good as his father. Don't you understand? The father's hands did nothing but good. And yea, in doing good, simultaneously the evil was created because he left his hands off of it. This is what he didn't do. And so man comes in, and all the things that were left undone were the evils he brought in to do, right? Polar opposites of the very same love that he meant to give it. Because anger is a polar opposite, or hate is a polar opposite of love. And so man is somewhere in between. Rather than love fully, he's somewhere in between hate and love. And drifting more and more towards hate. People, we need the spiritual force of love to go through. And man is the keep of that stream. We need the spiritual force of wisdom to flow through the whole earth. And man is the architect of that wisdom. We need truth to stream forth. And man is the decreer of that truth. We need faith to increase in the earth. Yes, and man is the blossom of that faith. You see, y'all are missing out on what you need to be. And so I'm doing my best to help you to see the virtues of the Most High, the powers that make life so sweet, rather than the powers that make life such a hell. We need these powers front and first. We need to focus on these things, love, truth, not just in our own families, not just in our immediate circle. No, but we need to focus these things everywhere we go. We need to be so focused on these things that not a single terrain, not a up or down, would ever change you from the essence of that love that you are. Stillness in God, in the attributes that you ought to be. Still in wisdom. If there is no wisdom present, you do not proceed. If you do not understand it, you do not speak. But if you do, and you have a message to share with the world, and if they would but hear, they would see I'm talking about something so magnificent, that it's not something that I've cooked up. An understanding that is mine. No, this is the understanding of God. That every man could have his own dominion. And they all understand that there is only one who can rule the whole of man wisely. And that is the Most High himself. His own position that was meant for him and him alone. You see, the only appearance of a leadership or leaderships in the spiritual kingdom is everything falling according to truth in its place where it ought to be for the construct of the Father. where he intends things to be, and pieces fall where they need to be. And so things are established according to truth, natural occurrence, according to the graduation of man. His efforts in the Father's establishments, and it's all allowed to be because men know that it is the Father dictating these things. And so every man is doing what is in their hearts to do, to the fullest extent, not stepping on another toes. Yea, it's only the Father who knows how to rule men wisely, people. Him and him alone. Because we've just been simply seeing evolution, but we haven't accounted for involution and how man has evolved within himself just to meet with his Father, and how the dictates of the Most High alone, because he is the only one dictating the inward, for the purpose of maturity, because that's involution, inward growth, and man's ability to will forth his will in miraculous and most powerful ways. You understand? You see, my will is only able to do this with my hand because there is absolute faith there. There is no doubt that I can't move my hand within me. You understand what I'm saying? But then because I doubt, or was made to doubt, or was caused to doubt, or inwardly chose to doubt. You understand what I'm saying? All the will of what I have the power to move about me, now I need to grow that back again. Because my will, I'm going to tell you like this. This flesh you see is only but a steed. But the understanding you hear, the words you hear me speak and try to convey and articulate to you in such an artistry manner, I do that because I want y'all to hear what I look like, if that makes sense. But soon enough, I hear what every man out there looks like, every carnal man, if you will, looks like. And y'all look like animals to me, in appearance, in sound, in thought. You're animalistic. You're animalistic. But the thing is, apply more understandings to that animal within that you are. And I guarantee you, you will awaken to the godly life, the spiritual life within you. Understanding that, wait a second, hold on. My understanding grows. So if my understanding grows, should I not work to continue growing this understanding, this pillar within me? Because I can use the understanding I have to do so many good things. The knowledge, the intellect, the manner of mind in which I can cultivate and grow. No animal can do that. Man alone can. You understand what I'm saying? Man alone can craft his own mind. No other creature can craft their mind. Man crafts it for him. And so y'all don't think we've been given that ability for some material, just to live in a material? No. We've been given the ability to craft our own mind so that we may see and understand the Father and do his will. You see, the animals will only see wisdom, if you will, whole coming from man. Whereas man can look wherever he wants and see the wisdom of the Father. You see, how many animals, though they are a part of the universe, can see universally? How many can see beyond their own pack? How many animals you know can actually see the whole world? Do they even know the shape of it? Do they even know what's going on? You understand what I'm saying? Are animals conscious of man's doings? Do they have a news network that they look at to tell them what's going on? Their consciousnesses are not adapt to such extensive intellect. You understand what I'm saying? But yet man is. And so man is put to the task to cultivate that intellect that the Father gave him. And so he must, out of that intellect, think right and do right from the source of that intellect that he is. And so in order for him to think right, man must first understand that in his current intellect, which will always be the case, because his intellect will always be current to him, it will never match up to an intellect that he can also perceive far higher. You see, it is only because of the Father that we can perceive higher than what we currently are. Because he's in us, calling us to the heights in which we are able to see, which is infinitely. And so with every height man sees, he tries to attain to it. And in attaining to it, his spirit grows. He finds the mastery at every step, cultivating and growing his spirit. But he cannot do these without the spiritual pillars that are absent in the earth. And lo and behold, my entire journey has led me to understand what those pillars are. When you understand the Father, when you understand the earth itself, when you understand life and creation and eternity and understanding itself and truth itself and wisdom itself and peace itself and joy itself and even the mother, the earthly mother itself. You understand what I'm saying? Nature, if you will, itself. When you understand these attributes out of which are formed all things that exist in the entire earth, out of the all-pervading intellect of mind that rules over every single mind, the one mind that is Father of them all, then you all will understand that if he is as intellectual as he is, we are meant to get there. If he numbers so perfectly, we are meant to aim there. Everything he does with his mind, we are meant to be like and do the like. Never doing according to our own mind in the case, except for in the case of merit, if you will. And I'll explain that. Because what we gain in the spiritual kingdom is ours, a part of us. And in the spiritual kingdom, we gain understanding, we gain truth. Do you think that the Father is going to continue to work on material life while we neglect these spiritual things? While we don't evolve in these spiritual things? You see, we go through material life, but where's the love? Where's the wisdom? Where's the understanding? Where's the truth, right? You think a father is going to continue to bless the sons? Bless mankind? With all of these, with any type of advancement in the material? While neglecting the spiritual? No. You see, in fact, there's never been any neglect in the spiritual. You see, the only neglect is in the material, if you will. Because we're only behind materially as compared to what we should have been had we cultivated the spirit. You see, the evolution of the spirit is at a slow, gradual pace. Far longer than the evolution of the flesh, or a material, if you will. All bodies around about everywhere. Air itself, a body. But these things, evolve gradually according to the need of the spirit. And so now man's mind is now evolving. And so the spirit also must follow suit and accommodate the evolution of the spirit. And so the accommodations we formerly had are dried up. We need new accommodations now. And accommodations that will help deal with us constantly growing in understanding and love. You see, had we been growing these things spiritually, there would be in the earth everything that's needed to persist and keep these things going materially. You see, if the love was worked in the earth that establishes all the good things that we need, if you will. But if the love begins to be cultivated in all the earth, man will see love everywhere, which means that there will be nothing that will allow around about him that will allow him to hurt. Because he is much loved. That will protect him because he is much loved. You understand what I'm saying? Because the evolution of the love within him is universal. And so when you love the Father, he'll love you right back. And so this is what it talks about when the Father says that before you even speak, I will be there to answer. You see, the love is instantaneous. Love is the most impatient thing in all of the earth. And y'all don't even realize it. Love is rightly impatient so that it may do what it desires to do, which is to care, to protect, and to cultivate and grow you, and not to hurt you, to care for you and not to hurt you. What is love without care? But we done let these things die, these powers die. I'm going to tell you how these powers work. You know how when there's a whole group against one person? And as man has grouped on the pillars and the foundations of carnal life within the mind, so is that mental strength of that very thing within man's countenance, the mind. Just you feel the aura of the terror with which they can inflict on you. And so this is us getting the understanding of when there is so many people against one person, right? No matter what that person says, they can always rebut, even if that person speaks the truth. They can always stand together and stand firm. If they want, they can even put you to death. Because their minds are combined. You understand what I'm saying? And so our minds are so selfish that these powers are weak. These virtues of the Most High are weak, which is meant to stream through man's mind. For man is the conduit of the virtues of God. To stream through man's mind, all of his virtues everywhere. If he can't do a whole bunch of peace here, he can do a whole bunch of peace there. So man sees the extent of peace. And so they don't get to, they no longer esteem for the extent of good muscles and the esteem of the extent of what it means to be the fastest runner and all of these useless and the best rapper and on top of the Billboard charts and all these useless things we aim for. No. When we esteem love, man won't do good just for the sight of it, for the look of it. No. Every man will understand that everyone plays a part. And if one of us are sick mentally, because you understand the absence of love is the sickness of the spirit. Because this is meant to be the member of your spirit. You see, y'all don't understand that your spirit has a makeup, a structure, just as well as my face. And so my hand is something I attribute to the Father for making for me, right? And this is the only conduit I have for a left hand. And so we have conduits and mediums within our mind that are only meant for love, meant for wisdom, meant for truth, that we've allowed. Don't you understand? When I don't use my legs, the limbs will the limbs will wither away. So when I don't use love within me, it will wither away. And so if we're not condoning or conducting love, it will not flow through man, which means that the force, the power itself is dried up, which is impossible because the Father's always pouring it out, but it's dried up on the merit of man's back, his deeds, the things he has done. You see, there is a law called right, equity in the law. There is, when man earns enough equity in love, then he can stream it all the more, according to his equity in which he has learned. And so man will understand, and then man will have the right to stream that level, or to stream love to begin with, in that he has been tried and true. There are triers in the spirit. There is one who tries according to spiritual matters. This is one we crown the understanding within us, right? The ones we crown truth within us. The very things we need to stream in the world will put us to the test in the spirit. So love will put you to the test, the performance, the experience, so that you may understand it, so that you may learn to stream it. And without these global pillars of love, these global pillars of wisdom and understanding, this world is crumbling. Y'all done. This world is said and done. And the thing is, without the wisdom of bringing it about, or the merit to bring it about. You see, you can have the wisdom all you want, but do you have the merit which gains you the right to step forward? Do you have it? And do you have the strength to step forward? Because I'm going to tell you like this. The right to step forward is a believing that you can in stepping forward. But the fact is, your minds are so wired so incorrectly, you can never come to the true belief thereof. Because you have to understand belief in order to know how to believe. You have to understand prayer to know how to do it. You have to understand the sight of God to understand how to see him. To be able to see him. You understand what I'm saying? And so all things are merited upon thy own understanding in the spirit. And so what you don't know in the spirit, beseech the Father. Pant, cry, moan, and groan for it, yearn for it, and he will bless you with it, and you will understand that in his blessing, his spiritual blessings, you will understand that there is someone else working. And the working of the Father in the Spirit is a blessing for the Spirit to do more in itself. A blessing for you to do more within yourself, to overcome sin more within yourself, to overcome all of your vices within yourself. The blessing to do, the strength to do that is the Lord's. And so he blesses you to do these things. And the fact that you haven't yet in your life only gives you the evidence that you've got work to do to earn a merit that is powerful and strong enough to overcome these evil things within you. And so the Father tells you, work on these things, right? Work on, practice love, so that love can be the test of every merit. I'm going to tell you, the more love you work, the more merit you earn, the more your spirit grows in ways you could not even explain. All praises to the Most High. And so y'all don't understand, I'm talking about an evolutionary life that I've come to understand in all of my studies, so that I can share it to you all. If you take it, if you don't, that's fine with you as well. Because I'm going to tell you like this. This is going to be the case against those do not believe in the spiritual growth, in doing the will of God in their life, overcoming sin in their life, things will move over you, through you, about you, beyond you, and you will see how that movement has been in the past, and you will understand that man is being brought to a place that he cannot avoid, because we will always yearn after the higher truth and understanding, after the will and the way of God. I see everybody sinning to have the power to be like God. And you don't think that this endeavor is something that we were actually meant to actually do the right way? To understand the right way, in order so that we may satisfy that need. Man has a craving, right? And so that craving is in the Father alone. Man has a craving that he just cannot explain for the love of God, and yet he finds himself trying to enact that love in erroneous ways in life, thinking that, oh, this is my right to love just this right here, nothing more. Not understanding that this semblance of what you have is only a small atom of what's good all over. You see, the good feelings y'all get from y'all family experience were meant to show you what it's meant to be all over the world, but yet y'all neglected that, and then you perverted the family system altogether. And now there's no more family construct to teach man of spiritual things. Give man spiritual experiences and feelings within himself so that he understand what needs to be everywhere. And so, because the family structure is gone, now destruction has to come in order for man, because you don't learn from what you used to learn from no more to do the will of God. You don't learn from it no more. You can't learn from it no more. It's past. It's gone. Man always grows content. He always gets fed up. It's gone. Man always wants something better and something higher. Now the next step is for every individual. Because we have evolved to selfishness, or devolved to selfishness, too egotistic. Now everything must affect every man individually, personally. And so, with this dividing, if you will, of the spirit that we have done, individually, we must reap, right? Which is always the case. I mean, come on. It's just all for you all to paint the picture, if you will, of how this will individually come to your door, knocking. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all haven't believed that it has already, because technically it already has. And it's already getting ready to crash right on through. We're already touched worldwide. There was a hand that went out and touched every doorpost alike. That's the thing y'all don't understand. And that hand was the hand of God, the Most High. And so we were touched once globally. We about to be touched again. I guarantee y'all this is getting ready to happen. But because we lack the understanding of generating that spiritual virtue of the Most High, the magnitude of what it takes to actually be merited and approved of Him in your life, because we've neglected to work this, we have to deal with those pillars being absent or seemingly absent, or those pillars have to do something extreme, because righteousness is only a justice. The judgment of the Most High is only extreme righteousness, right? Utter righteousness, right? And so righteousness will go forth in order to merit each spirit according to its merit, according to its likeness, because we are now definitely understanding this selfishness that we got. We got selfishness, and we understand our individuality in selfishness, right? Now it's time to come back out of that selfishness. And so we must be affected globally to now start understanding global efforts that we all need to come together to start making. We're now having to deal with things globally in order for us to put things right. But this is the thing, on that level, none can do it but the elect of the Most High. I guarantee you, y'all will believe me when y'all understand what I mean when I say that. They elect themselves because they have merited the charge. You understand what I'm saying? To do so. Merited the charge to do so. You understand what I'm saying? They earned it. And so it is not like to say, oh, you earned something. Oh, woody woo. I haven't earned it. You earned it, so that gives you the right just because you think you earned something. Understand this. And it's not, I'm not talking about myself, if you will. I'm talking strictly about the elect. They've earned it on a level that's different from the earning that man does in this world. You understand what I'm saying? They've earned something that's permanent. They grew their souls. They grew their spirits, you understand, and earned merits within their spirits and went through the wire and the test, you understand, the fires of mistakes after mistakes and troubles after troubles, you understand what I'm saying? They went through the fire, and from that fire burned within them all of the sorrow that cooked, if you will, or melted their hearts, if you will, and circumcised their understanding so that they began to utterly reject themselves and say, you thought wrong, you were thinking you did wrong, you this, that, and the other, only to understand their error, to see the pure difference. You see, man has to come to a realization of himself that he is not a master above God. Man has to come to the realization that he does not know truth, but somehow he can perceive it. Or he is not truth, yet he can perceive the perfect truth. He is not understanding, yet he can perceive by way of it. And so these things that he is not becomes his very tools within his spirit. The attributes of the Most High are the tools within man's spirit. And so he learns to understand and work with the tools that he's got as far as truth and understanding and what it takes to earn true merit and making a thing actually true within himself. You understand? Like, do we all truly know how to make a thing as true as we make ourselves look every morning? As we make ourselves talk every morning? Every day? You understand? As we make ourselves perceive and work and talk and move. Man has to make things as true as every deed that he thinks that he does, if you will. You see, we know how to perceive truth when the time is right. When we got a gun on our head, we know how to perceive truth. We know how to step the truth or admit the truth when our back's against the wall, right? When we have nowhere else to turn. We know how to admit the truth. Why does it have to be such a grave situation for y'all to finally come to speak the truth? Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you like this, bro. Y'all going to do it willingly. Even if it's against yourself. Because that's how the Spirit works. This is an attribute of the Spirit, to be stoic in the Lord, in the Most High. And y'all gonna start doing things truly to yourself. In a true state of mind, you're going to do things truly to yourself that you deserve. Because your mind is going to comprehend the perfect sentence, the perfect death sentence for you. And when that mind comprehends what that sentence is because of truth, you will know that you will not be able to step in a place you have not merited. And so, if your name is not written in the book of life, you haven't merited. And so, because of that, you will act in truth against yourself, because all of your circumstances about your condemnation will be true. But look, let's uphold love, wisdom, truth, understanding, the attributes of the Most High, so that we can get this thing back to the way it needs to be. And so we can grow in our sciences and our architects and our understandings and everything that we do, and we do good one for another in our technology and our advancements. We need these pillars to increase our knowledge in these things. And yet we don't have these pillars so that we can continue to grow in the things that we need for life, which deals with the lesser, if you will, or the minor virtues of the Most High. Because we work through and throughout the whole thing, family. But y'all gonna understand soon enough, because this is going, y'all gonna, there's a plan that's afoot, that's happening right now, that none of us can avoid. And we're gonna understand it soon enough, family. We're gonna know soon enough the truth, the reality about the fact that we can't do anything to avoid the spiritual evolution, the material evolution. We can't do anything to avoid the grand design and the plan of the Most High, because where things may look awry right now, it's all in His grand design. For every spirit to be formed and made new in His presence, and of a unique character in His presence. But y'all gonna see. Peace and blessings.